from Belgium originally. 20 years ago I came to the lovely green, luscious, rainy Ireland, and I'm still here, so I must like it. My company, ID Consult and Liquidity, we are in the niche area of procurement and best buying for the last 20 years. I've done it here in Ireland for different companies, indigenous companies, retail, food and drink for the last 12 years now. Before that, manufacturing, IT, pharma. So out of that, I found that the principles of procurement are actually 80% the same wherever you buy, and we don't have standards in place. We don't have a national or we don't have an international standard. There are some standards, but at the same time, our profession is still being seen as PO administration. Where I'm here, I always evangelize about buying, and buying right is a strategic function, and it's a decision that your own company can make. Because ultimately, if you buy right, you stop the waste at the front end, and you innovate. You are allowed to innovate for the back end as well. I'm going to put on my glasses. So instead of savings through smart procurement strategies, I just want to put it very, very strategic and say it's actually not savings, we're actually delivering extra margin to the bottom line. It's not only sales who do that, we do that too. 3 key messages, if nothing else, if you're going away for the next minute, 3 messages I want you to take away is, again, buying right delivers the same benefit to the bottom line as increasing your sales or your turnover. So focus on the front end and not only on the back end. Know your cost, know your market, know your competition. The knowledge and the research, the insight you get out of your own product, but also out of the market, is key to keep that competitive edge for your own company. And then thirdly, involve your buying team, involve your buyers even in strategic decisions, because they should get the knowledge out of the supply base, out of the experts in their own field, and map the internal needs with the external options. They should be the translators of your internal needs for the growth of the business with the external options. So very, very high level, every business has at a minimum 3 objectives. It's increasing sales or turnover, it's improve operational efficiency, and it's reducing cost. Buy it as cheap as you can, touch it as little as possible, sell it out as much as you can. That's what businesses tend to do, because it is about the bottom line. So what I find after 20 years, the majority of companies are focusing on increasing turnover. So they put extra sales on, they drive major marketing campaigns, they make sure that the product development and product design and the quality teams are really, really high-end, resource right, and the same for the operational efficiency. You have lean, you have the operations, you have finance, you have HR. They're all looking at increasing the bottom line margin. However, from a reduced cost point of view, I have found over the last 20 years, procurement is actually being left outside, and we're not being seen as adding to the bottom line. So, but if you can even step away and say at a high level, 5% savings upfront equals to the gross profit margin the same impact as 50% of sales increase. If you look at the return on investment that any company needs to do to increase their sales by 50%, that's a lot of money to be spending, and every company would be delighted to grow 50% year on year. Are you focusing on the cost up front? Because 5% cost savings, and I'm not talking about beating your suppliers up, I'm saying buying the right things and doing the buying right, but 5% cost savings up front will impact to the bottom line the same way as 50% of increased sales. So again, how do we do that? And again, I can just reiterate, the plan, the do, the check, the act. We as buyers, and again, I would I'd like to urge you to go back to your buying team, your procurement team, to go and diagnose. Get inside your own cost base, your product. Start challenging, validate inside. Are we at the right game? What does our customer want? Will they pay for all the work we do, or are we wrong with our architecture? Diagnose. Do you really need it? What do you buy? Who do you buy it from? Why do you buy it? And when do you buy it? Those are key questions that nobody else but your procurement team is asking in your business. What is your competition doing? And what change will benefit your company the most if you will embrace that? Plan your next 5-year direction and savings and benefit targets. It's key to bring your buying team into that, because again, if they don't know what is good for the growth of the company, they might put decisions in there, they might buy the wrong things because they might only be focused on the short-term gains instead of the long-term. So it is important to bring your people on the journey. Your 1-year roadmap and the key opportunities, and then the buying strategy to deliver for tomorrow. So short-term, medium, long-term, it's all common sense, but again, procurement people are not being brought on that journey. Throughout that, we need to implement and learn. Buying right and buying the right thing. They're two different things. It's about effectiveness and efficiency. Both of them are measures. So we need to start measuring our people. Again, the KPI performance for a procurement point of view are not put in place in most of the companies. Learn from your customers and your suppliers, and this is key. This is where procurement can so much add value, because we are meeting supply base all the time. We get from sales what our customer wants. We're the ideal in between to match one with the other. And if we don't do research up front, if we don't know what good likes at the back end, we might make the wrong decisions. So again, include your buyers in that. By doing that, by aligning ourselves with the right suppliers, we can innovate. They are the expert in the market, and I'm always saying, we're just translators, we're facilitators, we're collaborators, whatever we are. But what we need to do is bring the best of the supply base into the business for the competitive edge and the growth of our company. So align yourself with the right suppliers who you then can start partnerships with, join business ventures, whatever format you are comfortable in growing your business together, because ultimately the best results are being delivered when your suppliers and your business are driving the same objectives. And again, your supplier, he wants to make margin, he wants to grow his business. You want to do the same. Ultimately, if we make this chain and the collaboration as short as we can, that's how we're all going to deliver. So I always baseline whenever I go and I do consulting for different industries: financial, food and drink, manufacturing, public agents. There's 5 key inputs that I always focus on. One is the people, your buyers. How are they? Are they developed? Are they lean, and do they know what they need to do, how they can add value to your business? The process itself. Enforce the buying process. Compliance is key. And again, green buying, there are standards for public procurement. Green public procurement is coming in fast and furious, and we need to make sure that we safeguard that. Implement technology where fit. So again, we've heard great stories of Callum, Kuna Nagel. There's great integrators at this moment in time, inexpensive, that actually make buying smart. You have information at your fingertips. Turn data into information, turn information into insight. That's where you can add value for your own business. Enhance the knowledge. So again, bringing that research element through your buying team into your business, you can only deliver a consistent approach across your business. And then your culture, and again, culture can be an enabler or an inhibitor. be aware of what the sourcing policies are, what your own policies are, how you are allowed to behave. So I just want to focus on product development because obviously food and drink, it's key. I've worked for 12 years, I'm still working as a consultant in food and drink. Know your cost, know your recipes, know your buying and manufacturing process, know your differentiation, your own message to your customers, and know what your customers will pay for and will pay extra for. Don't waste your time for something that is overspec or will underdeliver, or vice versa. So do an ABC, do an activity-based costing, and really go through with your financial team into the product cost, into your supply chain cost, into the contract cost, and understand where you spend your money up front. And then enrich it with commodity information, trending that comes out of the market. And there's an awful lot of research that can be gotten for free by just knowing where you need to look for. But enhance your own knowledge, your own data with whatever's out there in the market, because it'll give you the golden nuggets that will give you that competitive edge. Reach out to your supply base. Supplier engagement is key, and a lot of companies are now, the bigger companies are focusing, bringing in partnership approach and bringing suppliers on site and learning from them, because ultimately you will know your own need. But do you know how the market has moved on in comparison to your own needs? We all like to work, and we all work in a little bit of a silo, and that's why we're expert in our field. However, lateral thinking, blue sky thinking, change management, it becomes all part of our day-to-day life and our day-to-day competitive advantage. So learn to understand, reach out to your supply base, get the best value for money that you are spending, but also query them and be aware about the knowledge of their people, their process, their culture, their technology, and how it can be beneficial to you. An awful lot of time in negotiations, what I find is what is free for me is very valuable to the other side, and vice versa. Find that common approach and give so that you can get, and get so that you can give. And then finally, just some small little tidbits on Brexit, and an awful lot of more knowledgeable people are talking about it. What can we do at a short-term level? People who have been exporting have seen their margin wiped out 13, 15, 16% overnight. People who are buying from the UK obviously have gained. Short-term, try to get a contingency plan in place for your supply base. Make sure that you do not let yourself be caught out and try to mitigate the risk that you have. The majority of people actually, the majority of companies, if they're being queried, they'll say medium term, we have concerns, we don't know how to plan for it, we don't know how to prepare for it. Bring in consultants, and it won't be me because I'm not knowledgeable about Brexit and all of that. But get yourself informed, research how it will impact on your market, and make sure you put plans in place. Long term, look at the opportunity, even from a sourcing roadmap. 3 to 5 years, it will change, it will impact. Don't wait for it to happen and for it to impact on your business. Already plan now, act now, and put plans in place. So from a sourcing strategy, when something happens, you're covered. You have a contingency. You can switch over with the click of a button. And basically that's just me. High brow, down low, top down, bottom up. Any questions for me?
Hi, my name is Helena. I'm not in the business of purchasing food or buying or selling anything. I'm actually here from the Department of Justice, and I'm here to raise awareness of human trafficking. And just as you're saying there about knowing your supplier, I just wanted to sort of make a point of maybe knowing your supplier's supply chain as well, because I think it's very, very important now, and it's something that's coming to the fore now that we're sort of discovering that immigrants are coming in, they're working into forced labour, and this might be one of the reasons why the reduced costs of products and so on. So it's just really to raise awareness here, just to have, you're saying about knowing your supplier and all that, if everybody could just look that a little bit further and look at how they are agreeing these low-cost products and so on. That's just I have business cards here of our information stand over there at the coffee shop if anybody's interested in finding out more about human trafficking.
Thanks, because that's so important. Again, we had the horse meat scandal. Know your vertical supply chain. If you're not owning it and not putting in best practices there, exactly know what you ask your suppliers to do. And cost is only one of 5 main criteria for selecting the right decision. Cost can never be the most important one. So.
Thanks, Ingrid. Graham from Contingency. In your opinion, what's the top 2 biggest challenges facing buyers or procurement professionals today in Ireland?
So one is, my biggest one is the development of buyers. So for the last 10 years, no business has invested really in its people because the money wasn't there. So buying as a profession is not seen as a profession. Buyers, most of the time you roll into a buying profession. I didn't study for buying because you can't study for buying, basically. You can't study to become a buyer. There are procurement management degrees, post-grads, but you can't elect in university, of course, I'm going to get a buyer. I'm actually starting lecturing in UCC this week on a level 8 on procurement management, but it's inaugural. It's the first ever in Ireland that a university has endorsed practitioners together with universities to write a program to bring the best out from research, but also practice to the business, because the business needs are very demanding. They're demanding on buyers to become a lot more knowledgeable with the latest technology, the digital technology, and it's great and we all should embrace it. However, buyers are not, I suppose, trained up to use it as an advantage. So it's those 5 key inputs, the resources. Make sure as a company you develop your people, you train them up, and it's not only about negotiation skills. I mean, that's only one tiny element of all the things we need to do. It's about risk, it's about compliance, it's about knowing, it's about becoming a lot more knowledgeable, and that insight will drive that competitive edge in your market. But so the business needs to invest in their people and invest in platforms and digital technology to enable buyers to become smart, to move the dial faster, quicker, smarter towards